Dux Drainage Geocomposite products revolutionise subsurface drainage. These products offer improved drainage as well as immediate savings in aggregate and labour. There's a range of products for applications including retaining walls, basements, bridge abutments, roadside edge drainage, sports field drainage, and also on the flat in rooftops and planter boxes. Let's have a brief look at some of these products. CD12 is a double dimple, 12mm thick drainage composite. It's supplied in a sheet form and it's used for draining retaining walls and basements and bridge abutments. So the core goes against the structure and the fabric intercepts water and drops it down for disposal. The traditional way of doing wall drainage is to have a 300mm layer of aggregate. Now this is not very efficient, it's costly, and it's almost impossible to build in practice, to build a constant 300mm layer. You also need an Aggie pipe for disposal. The aggregate can also fill up with fines over time, so a geotextile filter fabric is also required. But again, that's very difficult to place. So you can see that the use of this drainage composite is an ideal alternative. You simply roll it out and backfill against it. So you replace the 300mm drainage layer with the layer of the CD12 with a strip filter pipe for disposal. As well as effective drainage, the solid core provides a secondary waterproofing function. It's a very positive cut-off drain, and it provides secondary protection for the primary waterproofing layer on the wall. In roof drains and planter boxes, PD20 is used. This is a 20mm single dimple core with fabric on one side. It's used for both intensive and extensive roofs. Let me just explain. Intensive roofs are those that are relatively small in plan area and relatively deep in soil profile. The prime function of the product here is to drain quickly. This replaces thick drainage layers which are inefficient and also very heavy and weighty, so you can reduce the design load on structure. For intensive roofs, this is the standard product. For extensive roofs, there's a different version where we reverse the core. Now, extensive green roofs are those that are relatively large area and maybe a thin soil profile where you've either got grass or sedums growing over them. In the harsh Australian environment, this can be problematic because the soil layer can dry out very quickly. For that application, the core's reversed, as I said, and the fabric's bonded now to the flat side. The dimples act to hold water and provide some moisture for that thin soil profile. So two versions for the different applications. The strip filter pipe is a prefabricated all-in-one drainage system for subsoil drainage, used in roadside edge drains, sports fields, and it replaces all the components of a traditional French drain. Let me show you. So a traditional subsurface or French drain comprises a large trench, 300mm wide, 450 deep, an Aggie pipe and a wrap of geotextile surrounding open drainage aggregate. As you can see, it's a relatively large trench. It takes a lot of materials, it's costly, and it's relatively inefficient because a hole full of rock is rock mainly. It's more than 70% rock, so the void space for drainage is very small. Also, the drainage capacity is very limited or constricted by the Aggie pipe, which has very limited holes to get water in. So it's relatively unresponsive in terms of time for drainage. Using the strip filter pipe, we can reduce the trench to only 100mm wide. As you can see, dramatically reducing materials immediately, and also it lends itself to mechanical installation with a trenching machine. The strip filter pipe provides much better drainage. Why? Let me show you with this simple demonstration. So why is it so much better in drainage? It's because of this unique double dimple core. This is an Australian invention, and it was originally made almost 40 years ago now by Nilex in Melbourne. The double dimple is a very strong core, open for drainage. It's made from recycled HDPE, so recycled products made locally. It's then wrapped in a geotextile filter fabric to give you a full prefabricated all-in-one drain. So it's strong and it's got very good performance. Why? Why is the drainage performance better than an Aggie pipe? The water has no restriction to getting into the system, whereas in a traditional Aggie pipe, if you look closer, you'll see there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 holes around the perimeter of the pipe to get water in. So the open area is only maybe 2%. In the strip filter pipe, there's no restriction. The water gets straight into the system immediately and drained away, so quick responsive time is ensured. The choice of geotextile is also very important. Ideally, it should be a non-woven, hydrophilic geotextile. Geotextiles can be hydrophilic or hydrophobic. Hydrophilic means that there's no restriction to water flow. It doesn't stop the water getting in, and that's what the Dux geotextile is. Some geotextiles, particularly polyester non-wovens, can be hydrophobic, meaning they repel water. Doesn't mean they don't work, but it means you have to build up a head of water to break through the surface tension. Why is that a negative? It's a negative because it reduces water flow, but it also, in building up a head of water, can mean that when the surface tension's broken, there can be a flush out of fines against the fabric, further reducing the flow. So that's why a non-woven polypropylene is important, hydrophilic. I say polypropylene because in many applications the strip filter pipe is used around wet concrete. And in this environment, wet concrete has high alkalinity, which can destroy some geotextiles very quickly, particularly polyester non-wovens. So a polypropylene non-woven is a better choice for wrapping the drain. The father of geosynthetics, Robert Kerner, has described prefabricated geocomposite drains as the future in roadside drainage. Moreover, he says the installed cost of these systems is dramatically less than traditional drains. So just to summarise, Dux geosynthetic drains are available in a range of products for many applications. They improve drainage dramatically in your structures, and they save upfront in installation costs and materials. So to ensure the best long-term performance of your project, specify Dux geocomposite drains.